Okay, this is a science fiction story written by me, so it came to my mind of something. I'm watching Star Trek on TV, it came to my mind. Well, I just thought about it. I had a weird dream that I had last night. It was strange and bizarre. Well, I'm gonna start the story here. And this did not happen. That did happen. So this is a science fiction story. Something that never happened. As I wake up in the morning, I'm hearing stories of a mass UFO attack over Hamilton on C8 News. As the time went on, and as when next thing you know, Doug Ford came on the TV with emergency announcement, which was interrupted, was knocked off the air before you even get the emergency announcement done. And the internet went all crazy. My cell phone went useless because it destroyed all the communication. As Justin Trudeau tried to get an announcement out, it was, about got the emergency order out, by the time the military ended up trying to get, and that point, I got a wireless alert that that the city under Canada under a mass UFO attack, and that they called on every military around the world to come. And when all of a sudden the sky was filled with F-18s from around the world, Russia, Japan, Iraq, anybody in the USA, and every military S-18s, they were flying by that thing, and they were shooting and vaporizing them out of the sky, hundreds and thousands at a time, dropping from crashing. Well, radio communications are useless. So finally, I realized, you know what? I need these alien forces on the ground Earth. They're wiping Earth clean. They're getting rid of the coronavirus threat to the solar. Well, no threat, but they wanted to wipe Earth clean and get populated. And so what happened, I found the group of them going to teleport up to the spacecraft. So I figured, you know what? They came down a shuttlecraft. No, I'm going to steal the shuttlecraft and I'm going to bring it back home. And what did I do? I managed to stow away on board the shuttlecraft. Of course, it went into the bay of the mothership. And what did I do from there? I decided, okay, now I'm going to have to do something. Turned out that me and my roommate took this shuttlecraft, basically, and we really got there, and he was still looking around, always wanted jumping on, trying to get on Facebook, couldn't, because everything was neutralized. So finally, we managed to, do something. I finally managed to, okay, this is spacecraft. It's in deep space. And it had neutralized everything on Earth, but I'm going to do something to unneutralize this ship. So how could I do this? I'm trying to think. Okay, they're breathing the same as we're breathing, but if we could we can depressurize this ship and vent the air into space by getting these people lose consciousness and will actually die of hypoxia. So we got into the ship by mental control. I took one alien phaser, we neutralized one in there, took over environmental control, and depressurized the whole entire ship, and after that, all these aliens passed out on the ship all throughout. Hundreds died. And then we used a ship transporter, beamed them all into deep space, and left them sitting there, exploding in deep space for all eternity. And then we ship, and they used the phasers on board the ship to vaporize them all, so it couldn't be seen. Once we did that, I turned around and we started to get down to Earth, but realized, we got here in ship. And then what they do? Well, the first thing I did is manage to get a hold of, people down on Earth, and they managed to identify us. Actually, as soon as we were identified, as soon as we were identified, you know what? That we did do it. They said, and also we found in their sick bay a cure for coronavirus, a vaccine for coronavirus that they had in their world. What we did is, and I thought about, okay, these areas are not immune to polio, so what we can do is, we can destroy the spacecraft and infect them with polio, or we're going to take this ship and use it for intergalactic research far, far away, while at the same time, we're going to keep it in orbit, because it can't too big come Earth, but got to close it. So what we do, well, on Earth, the people were recovering from the alien attack and trying to rebuild and everything else. And when we got there, when we arrived with the shuttlecraft and the big alien ship in orbit, you know what? I arrived and decorated with words of honor. And my God, how are you doing? Well, I stowed away one of the shuttlecrafts and got in the ship, and what they do, I took the aliens and I depressurized the ship in deep space, and by doing that, all of them died from all of them died. All of them put the vacuum of space inside the spaceship, so they would not be able to survive, and they're made hostile. So we got rid of the bad aliens, and we put them in, and I teleported all in deep space, and then I vaporized them with the ship's phasers afterwards, basically. And after that, and saving the planet from the mean alien, but we did find information, so we fed the information into Earth's computer bank on how to kill the coronavirus and how to stop it. Be able to get the information. What we did is we fed information into there. What we did is we turned around and we found to not have vaccine with the Spanish flu. So what we do is we're gonna turn around. We are, but they're not. So we're gonna do is make the ship. So if they come, they all die of the Spanish flu, while we are free from coronavirus. So, my God, I was decorated. My God, I was given the word of honor and everything, and everything went very, very happily ever after. The end.